I don't want to change too many systems with the melee stuff yet. And by yet, I mean, I don't think I want to. Because then it just produces more bugs. No, not yet. No. Remove yet. I don't want to do any edits to the melee system. Maybe the only thing I would do is add some sort of aim assist on the grabbing. Hey, Golden. Ew. Wait, did that keep the same? Oh my god, it keeps the same angle. That's fucking Pog. What if you're down here? It kind of keeps the same angle. It keeps the same rotation. However, left to right movement is now affected by the tilt. Shidukai, thank you. Appreciate it. How is there two of them now? Fireworks. This guy unaffected. Huh? Huh? Still unaffected. I love it. How is there so many? How did they duplicate? Jimmy, how is this happening? Yes, Mr. Beast, I'm talking to you. Jimmy. What? You can't cut off his head. How did that happen? Oh. Pull that up, Jamie. Jamie, pull that up on the TV. Anyways. Finishing up my Steam page today. Hey, congrats, man. Hell yeah. Surely that was just his helmet flying off? Surely, right? Yeah, right. Yeah, surely. Yeah. Yeah. Cusco. How did I get such cool capsule art? I commissioned a friend of mine to make it. And that was about it. Yeah. Get yourself a good artist. Pay them some amount, probably like $1,000 or something, 500, something like that. There's a new Humble Bundle that dropped, apparently. Hold on. Let's take a look. Live reaction to the latest Humble Bundle. Please don't leak my IP. It is this one in the corner? Or is it this one? No, it's the other one. All these assets look like... okay. They look okay. I think I looked at them before. Now, the gigantic game dev assets and tools mega bundle. Yes. Oh, shit. I wanted to buy this at one point. Victorian Street. I think I bought that a while back. I was actually making a, like, cafe simulator game at one point with that asset. But clearly that project didn't go very far. There's a lot of first times in here. Industrial Harbor, Coastal Wetland Bridge, some swimming animations, some guitarist animations. Can't you not get these anymore? Because, so, based on what I hear, these give you professional licenses. Based on what I've been told. And based on what I've seen in past assets. These are with professional license keys. Now, if it is not a professional license key, then no, I cannot purchase it. But you can see professional license on Fab. You can see it like has a big subtext. They must have been asked about that often, if I were to guess. Literally underneath everything, professional license on Fab. Because that was a huge question mark of mine as well. Early on, while they were doing Fab... military helicopter, cyberpunk assault rifle. Oh, dude. I think I already have that. This is like the only way I can get assets unless the asset doesn't cost an absolute astronomical amount for the professional license. As long as it doesn't cost $5 million gajillion dollars. All right, I gotta keep an eye on this one. Surely that was his helmet flying off? Yeah, his head, his whole ass head was a helmet. Is it new game dev time? Yeah. New game. Yeah, October is the month that we're looking at to start the next thing. Hopefully. Yes! October. October. So you looking at stuff, got excited? I'm sorry, man. Sorry to burst the bubble. I apologize for bursting thy bubble. Fishing game next? Where's my list of potential games we could do? Ah, yes, the Giga game plan. Finish Suit for Hire. Release Suit for Hire on Xbox. Yeah, that's gonna be... I don't want to think about that right now. Release a marketplace asset? I don't know. Potentially release 2 small games? I don't know what that's supposed to mean. What the hell is a small game? What the hell is a small game? I think this is the other game I was working on. New speedrun. Can Crimson finish his game in sub 4 years? You mean the next game in sub 4 years? The real challenge is, can I get it done in 2 years? Time is a fickle thing. A tiny game is just a game with tilt shift. Like, I don't know, like, what is a small game? Enhanced hitboxes. Okay. Let's just fucking get started on that. Let's make it so hitting the head deals double damage with pistols. Hitting the leg deals less damage. How much damage does the enemy pistol deal? Let's see. Secondary enemy pistol. This deals 2 damage. That is its baseline. So we can make it so hitting the leg deals 1 damage. We can make it so hitting the head deals double damage, 4. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Do you think the flashlight toggle will make it into this patch? I can look into it now that we have the ability to clear stuff. We could probably do it. I have so many tabs open. My laptop's crying. It's getting hot on the bottom. Close some of the tabs. Close some of the tabs. I don't know. Close some of the tabs. Everyone's really tiny in it? Is that what a small game is? Sorry. Now that we're talking about time in 2030, y'all got me thinking about my age and how old I'm getting. I'm having a pre-midlife crisis. I'm trying to think here. I would like this. I would like the game instance. Okay. Enhanced hitboxes secondary. So we need secondary weapon and primary. Primary will be default to off. For anybody who, for some fucking reason, wants this and makes it so the primary weapon does not one-shot if you, for some reason, I don't know, hit someone's legs or something. So that'll be default to off. Okay. I also got to fix a bunch of the controls in here. Let me see if I can rename this back to nope. This is going to be a modifier, basically. Bro, thank God you're adding this. I've been asking about it since day one. Yeah, whatever, Sonny. Do you even play this game? No. How dare you? Oh, no, it's not a modifier. It's going to be a straight up setting. It's going to be a straight up setting. I combine almost anything except the tilde key. Any reason why I'm not able to? The tilde key, you say? Tilde. Disallowed keys, tilde key. Why do we disallow the tilde key? Isn't that the Unreal Console button? Yes, I think. But things, you can't even open it in a shipping build. So it doesn't even matter. Why is that disallowed? I don't know why I had the tilde key in there. I have a feeling someone probably like submitted a report and they're like, why is it that I can fucking blah, 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 blah. So we have enhanced hitboxes for the secondary, enhanced hitboxes for the primary. I'm a little hesitant on putting the setting for the primary weapon because it will potentially break the flow of the game, which is that your primary weapon is this like super powerful weapon. Not exactly, but hey, if someone wants to fucking play with that, then sure. I'm trying to think of how much code I'm gonna have to do for that though. Like code adjustments. Like the secondary weapon, no problem. Huh. Yeah. You know what? I'm actually going to cut out the primary one. I have too much potato code in here. I'm going to be honest. It is a skill issue. You could say it's a skill issue. Write a negative review. Secondary. There's an A in there. No, it's genuinely, I'm picturing some of the code that I made. There are certain sections where I genuinely have the primary weapons deal 50 damage specifically, or 99. And I have some code, okay? You can laugh at me all you want. I have some code that specifically checks if the damage is 99 because I only use that for the primary weapons, and it uses that 99 damage as a check for certain things. Is that the best way of doing it? No, that's a horrible way of doing it, but that's the way past me did it. And current me is currently picturing all of that code. So, on that note, I'm going to make this only apply to the secondary weapons. I'm sure people are going to ask for it for the primal weapons. I just can't be fucking bothered. And also, it just breaks the game design. And I just don't like the idea of that. Also, this text is really long. Secondary weapon enhanced hitboxes. Is there a better way I can word this? Secondary weapon enhanced hitboxes? Sidearm enhanced hitboxes? No, that might not work. Enhanced hitboxes in brackets secondary. Motherfucker, that's what I had it at before. Whatever. Whatever. We'll just call it enhanced hitboxes. And then we'll add a tooltip to it. Hitting enemies in different body parts with a secondary weapon will deal different levels of damage. Hitting enemies in different body parts with a secondary weapon will deal different levels of damage. So, do I make it so enhanced hitboxes? So one thing I was thinking about is enhanced hitboxes would also have a damage fall off. Do I say fuck the damage fall off, or do I also apply that to this? Would players get annoyed with a damage fall off? I think they would. I think they would. Hitting enemies in different body parts of the secondary weapon will deal different levels of damage. Alright. Is it considered using AI if I ask the AI to improve this grammar? Would that be considered using AI? I feel like that's like a no, you know, like asking it what I can do to improve. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It didn't write anything. It improved the text by just deleting it entirely. Hitting enemies at different body parts with a secondary weapon will deal different levels of damage. Wait. That's the same text. It's the same text. Do I have to say please? Please improve the following text's grammar. Hitting enemies in different body parts with a secondary weapon will deal varying levels of damage. I guess. I don't like this text, but whatever. I'm not gonna fucking stay here. We're deleting the primary. I know I might have said to someone that I might do it for the primary as well. I think we're just doing it for the secondary. The primary has a very specific, like, set of rules that I don't want to affect too much. Hitting enemies in different body parts of the secondary weapon will deal varying levels of damage. Okay. No, my one requested feature. Sugma! Sugma! Don't care. Go play a different game. Refund! 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 Yep. I'm done. I'm up here. All right. In terms of, don't forget to click the crab. I don't have old school RuneScape open. I know you don't believe me. I don't have it open. I do not have it open. I don't. I'm going to tell all my Chinese friends to review bomb your game. They're already too busy with Silksong right now. Which, to be fair, it is quite a reasonable thing, I guess. The translations are pretty rough there. That shit's poetry. You know, you hit a success as a game dev when you can tell your user base to suck decent nuts. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, you know, if someone wants to be mad because I didn't put a feature in, because they're playing a game and they want the game to be a certain game, and it's not the certain game that they're actually looking for, and in fact, it's actually like a puzzler shooter kind of thing, and instead they wanted Max Payne / Bullet Sponge, whatever. Listen, it's the wrong game, brother. Just hit the refund button. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. I'm over it. I should have refunded this game ages ago. Fishing minigame is still not preset. Present, preset, present, whatever, same thing. Listen, can you learn to type better, please? Okay, enhanced hitboxes. Hitting enemies in different body parts with a secondary weapon will deal varying levels of damage. Yeah! Yes. 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 Shotgun unaffected surely, though? It will be affected. All of the bullets are going to be affected. All of the secondary bullets. So if you hit a guy in the head with a shotgun, it'll deal double damage. Surely I have the system in place to read the specific bone that it's hitting, right, guys? I'm not going to change the fire, though, because the fire shotgun... Yeah. To the leg? I actually don't know how much damage a shotgun does by default. I think it's 1. 6. Oh, that's the bullet in the middle of your crosshair deals 6 damage. The following shells deal 5, but they have a damage fall off. They have a damage fall off, so if you're too far away, it'll deal less damage. I'm gonna deal damage. Yeah, all right, Hulk. What are you gonna say next? Hulk smash? I'm a Raycast, not a Hulk. Is that what the line trace is saying? I'm gonna deal damage. I'm dealing damage. All right, time to look through my code and squeeze in a system to change the damage value. Surely it won't be too difficult to do this. Right. This is what happens when you make a game and you think you're going to have a very simple scope, and then you increase the scope, and then all your code just starts becoming one big homogeneous fucking junkyard of just shit. And, you know, you got electricity flowing into some of it, even though it's like fucking in a mountain of shit. What if instead of using Raycast, we started using Hulks in game development? Like, we can start calling the sphere trace a Hulk trace. The sphere trace shall be called Hulk trace. I'm not going to remember that. Okay, bullet kill type secondary weapon. Doesn't sound very good calling your code a junkyard. Yeah, well, I can say whatever I want to my code. Because it's my code. And you can say whatever you want to your code. And nobody can say anything about my code. Because it's my code. And fuck you. Respectfully. Okay. This is why I want to move on to the next game, because I'm like looking at this code and I'm like, man, there's a lot of potato in here. there's a lot of potato in here. I'll admit. What's next? Are you going to be calling AI agents clankers too? Oh, you fucking bet I will. What? Okay, so we need to adjust the damage amount based off of the bone hit. If I remember correctly, there is a skeletal mesh hit trace here, which is very good. And this should... Why is the trace channel camera? Why is it camera? Can't even follow the nav mesh. I think that's another thing I'd like to learn is how can I really make the best usage of AI nav mesh and the default move to stuff, because I feel like I am constantly fighting the movement system for AI and like default AI in UE. It just doesn't give me the result I want. So are you telling me this is hitting nothing? But camera block is set to block. So how is it that this is hitting nothing? Is it because we're tracing complex? Um... The thing is, I don't think it's hitting the skeletal mesh. Also, what in shit did happen here? Do you guys see that? What? Trace against component, trace component. Think about it this way: what if you program your own engine? You had to program your own nav mesh and AI agents. Yeah, I'm not though. The beauty is I am not doing that, and that's the beauty. That I am not programming my own thing. You know what I mean? Why is that there? Ah! Oh. Oh. I don't please explain. I'd rather not right now. I'm dealing with a lot. I don't know what's even going on in here. I'm gonna puke. This has to be some of the worst code I've ever written. Look at all the spaghetti. Didn't realize you were doing a cooking stream. Ah, is this the cooking stream that I promised you guys? Easy. So this is it, eh? So far, the worst code you've written. So far. Oh yeah, I'm sure it'll get worse. I'm sure in due time it will get worse. I'm sure in due time it'll just be worse. I'm not liking the fact that it's aiming up when we're too up close and then it ends up not hitting. Now we're hearing the bone hit, but pause the stream until I get back? Yeah, it's not happening. Yeah, that's not happening. I know this is bad. My hope is that I never have to ever look at this code again. That's my hope. That's my hope right now. Happens a lot with the nail gun. You know, I found peace today. I woke up and said, you know what? I'm not going to turn on my PC, and just sat on my sofa and looked at the wall for 2 hours. It's the most refreshing thing I've done in years. The most refreshing thing you can do is not opening up any social media and just going on a walk. Just go on a walk. Avoid people. People are the source of suffering. I have my Joker moment. Anyways, now, yeah, and just go on a nice walk. Port your game to CryEngine. Now that is the source of suffering. That's true suffering. That's actually the source of suffering. I'd have to find God after that. Let me tell you. Like I'd have to go back to church. Like I'm not even kidding. It would just look like Unity anyways. My game already looks like Unity. I received certain negative reviews that said that the game just looks like Unity. A cheap Unity asset flip. Thank you, gamers. Your feedback has been sent to my brain, unfortunately. And instead, I wish only the best for the individual that wrote those things. I'm okay. No more questions. Okay. Send their feedback to both Unity and Epic Games to start an internal war. There's already an internal war, I'm sure. Got a pennant? Okay, so in between here, we need to do multiple things. We need to first check what is our weapon type. And we need to check if it's a secondary weapon. Is there any other way I can maybe do a check if this is a secondary weapon? I'm about to just turn this into a variable. See me react, look up. Let me see. I should maybe fix that. See you later, partner. Going up. It really saddens me that some players of the game don't want to try out any of the other guns because the primary weapon is just too strong. So they don't want to adjust their playstyle because they've already found the strongest thing. And it's okay, you can play any way you want to. It's just, it's a little saddening to see that even in a single player game, people are trying to find the meta for themselves and optimize their own playing of a video game. Yeah, they min-max even a single player game. It's that's gaming. That's the modern gaming mindset. I hope I can hopefully get to a financial situation where I can just make games that I want to make without any cultural or current mindset stuff going on in the gaming industry. Things like, oh, it needs to have unlocks. Oh, it needs to have infinite progression. Oh, it needs all of this. You know what I mean? I just want to make good, engaging games without all of those elements. Sure, almost every single weapon in the game, they all have their own strengths and weaknesses, for sure. The primary weapon, obviously, is the most all-around weapon, but all of the weapons have a different playstyle. Like, that's kind of... Well, not all of them. They have slightly different playstyles, but some of them are more apparent than others, right? The Science Pistol, for example, very different playstyle. I could probably buff that one a little bit. I do think the Science Pistol could get a bit more love. To allow people to want to play around with it more. You remember when people used to play Fallout to just screw around? Now people just make the most effective build to do the quest as fast as possible. It's kind of sad. It's kind of... I think that's also why yellow paint is such an integral thing now in games, is because you have so many people that just want to get to the end as fast as possible. It's like they don't even want to enjoy their time playing the game anymore. Kind of like my idea of making its damage normalized when you crouch, incentivizing, but I know if that's a thing, and I can easily add that in. I just don't know if that is what I would want to do. I like the idea. I like the idea of incentivizing crouching. It's really funny considering crouching is kind of like a newer thing in the game. Crouching literally was not in the game up until I think 1.0. No, not 1.0. A couple versions before 1.0, I think. Kingdom Come Deliverance changed that. In that game you can't min-max? Yeah. That's great. I think I would like to make games that don't allow you to min-max. Someone recreated Boba Fett? Oh, shit. Wait, can you even do that in No Man's Sky? Oh, you can customize the ships now, can't you? I need to update the crouching animation. At least a little bit, as much as I can. Without it taking 5 million years. Yeah, I don't know. Gaming has been a bit weird. You can't like... I kind of want like to make games that just let you figure out the game. But I think the problem with... this is why I'm saying I need some sort of like financial foundation to be able to do any of this. Because the instant you start going against the grain, you start getting so many negative reviews and negativity because it's going against the culture of what's there in games right now. Is it also that there being so many games too, people trying to get through it all, then on to the next one, maximizing their time, but end up missing out on all the game has to offer? Yeah, I like on that subject, I do believe that a lot of people self-sabotage their own playing experience of video games. I think that's the problem. I think a lot of players now, I guess maybe it's the way things are these days, not enough time, certain things like that. I think they end up self-sabotaging their experience, and then they end up not being able to enjoy a game. The straight spine, mainly, I think, is the biggest standout. Yeah, I think it's certain things in the animation that I'm not fond of. Definitely have to change those. I know a lot of people would come into a game and just ask people what they're doing so they can be strong even without experience themselves. Don't get me wrong, I already paid $60. You want me to play your game too? I'd rather doom scroll. Let's go gym, brother man. Hey, I'm fucking strong. I'm tired. My arm's tired. So whenever I see a game that kind of just throws you in and it's kind of like, hey, figure it out. I think Silksong is one of those examples. Now, there are a couple elements in Silksong, a couple moments where I'm like, okay, maybe that's a little bit too much. There's like a boss where you have to like literally run from one end of the map back to the boss to try to beat the boss again. That's a bit too much, but I think like making it challenging is not a big problem, in my opinion. If something's too easy, it's just kind of boring. You could say Suit for Hire is too easy in some respects. Once you notice how you can cheese the AI because it's very cheesable, then it's like, oh shit. Ah, my eye. Hey, George Washington, the president, number 48. I don't know. 32, something like that. Game kind of reminds me of Max Payne. It's got a little some of everything, a little bit of everything. It's got a little seasoning, you know what I mean? A little bit of garam masala, you know? It's got a bit of everything. It's got a bit of everything. Some onion, some garlic, salt, black pepper, cheese. I think the whole hardcore game thing is getting old as well. Basically playing the same game, but everything is 4 times as hard. I think it depends. But maybe. You know, Mozart. I think it depends. I'm still into hardcore style games. Like Arc Raiders. I'm looking forward to Arc Raiders. I like roguelites. You could consider that somewhat hardcore in some respects. But not really. What is the definition of hardcore? High risk, high reward kind of feel. Dying has a price. Tarkov I would consider hardcore because it's like you work on a bunch of stuff to get loot, and then if you die, you lose all that loot. No UI? No UI could be considered a hardcore element, I guess. Getting 2-shotted and dying. That could be, I guess, hardcore. Losing all progress I typically think of. Deadlock isn't really a hardcore game, but it has hardcore sweats. Deadlock is just like any other MOBA in the sense that there is always going to be people that are extremely competitive that want to like be competitive, and they find the fun in being competitive. Some people playing Deadlock are not going to find that necessarily interesting for them, which is fair. That's usually why a lot of MOBAs have 2 modes, one for just having a good time fucking around, and one that's ranked. Deadlock had to remove their ranked mode, and they just made it so everything's ranked because I think the queue times were just way too long, and splitting the community into 2 sections was just not very healthy for playtesting and whatnot. So they made it less hardcore. You can't deny as effectively as in the beginning. Denying is weird in Deadlock. It's very, I feel like I can't deny sometimes, but sometimes the enemy can deny my shit. It just doesn't make sense. If you want to progress in Tarkov, you got to treat it like a job. It's not really like treating it like a job, but the thing is with Tarkov, Tarkov doesn't have a matchmaking system. It will put you against the hardest fucking squad in existence. It's unfair by design. And that's what makes it somewhat thrilling in a way. It's a thriller, right? I would put it under a thriller category. Yeah, Tarkov just throws you against anyone. It could be the newest players ever. It could be the most veteran players ever. That's why a lot of people like the wipes in Tarkov, because everyone is sort of on an even ground at the beginning, rather than people having full tier 5 armor or whatever the fuck it's called, with like gigantic assault rifles with the best bullets and everything. So yeah, I wish they just made Half-Life 3 instead, but whatever. I like Deadlock. I think it's great. I think it's a lot of fun. For me, a hardcore game is one that maintains the fine line between being difficult and enjoyable without becoming frustrating, requiring the player to do more than just bang their head against the keyboard to win. Yeah. I think the thing about hardcore is... the thing about hardcore is you have to remember the emotional words that you use for certain games are completely different for hardcore games. So the word fun, in my opinion, is not applicable for a hardcore game. It's not fun. I think fun is a very misused word that can be seen in completely different ways for a lot of people. Like Tarkov, in my opinion, is not fun. It's engaging. It's thrilling. It's in some ways adrenaline pumping, which is what I would say thrilling. It's rewarding in some ways, right? It's the fact that if you die, you lose everything. But if you get out, you know what I mean? That's the part. It's that engaging element, that thrilling experience. Like, I think fun can be seen in different ways. I think some games I wouldn't define as fun, but more so engaging, entertaining. You know, it provides different experience. Like it's a different way of experiencing a game. I think if you only look at every game as a blanket statement emotionally as just fun, it just like I don't think there's necessarily like, I know it's a very basic way of looking at it, is okay, the game needs to be fun. I think I just like the words engaging or enticing or and whatnot to be better. I used to have thrill in Tarkov. Now I don't, because people are way too good and invest their life into it. It's definitely like that's the problem with those types of games, is like people learn way too much. People start fucking doing Adderall in the game, you know. That's the problem. That's the interesting and also the downfall of Tarkov, is like you can die in fucking one hit. The guy could have like 5 times more loot than you because they played 12 hours into the wipe, whereas your ass is just getting into it. That's, I think, the problem with Tarkov. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think there's any way to fix that. I think there are ways of fixing that, but they would need a larger player base to do that. They can't just start limiting and matchmaking based off of players' loot circles, because they would need a bigger player base. And Tarkov, a lot of times, is like fucking 8 minutes for a queue just to get into a match, which is fucking awful. And while you're sitting in there for 8 minutes, you can't edit your stash or anything like that. They need to fix that. I think if they can fix that, it might be better for a whole range of players. Do you think Indy and Double A are having a great time? The Minute? right now. The min, like AAA has been stagnant for a while, and people are catching on to the money grab online looter shooters. Why so many of these games get canceled, etc. Indie/AA are getting better public reception these days. Balatro, Peak, Claire Obscure, etc. I think people are just getting sick of being advertised to. That's another thing. Like, it's gotten to a point where even Netflix and all these other fucking services are now showing you ads on your subscription service that you are paying for. And now they just, hey, if you pay another additional $5, you get no ads. We went from like going to on demand to now going and reverting back to how TV used to be, which is awful. And I think people are just kind of sick of it. And it doesn't help that so many ads are now like low effort using AI and stuff like that. And I think people are starting to catch on to that bubble. I'm really glad people are slowly catching on to that. I think that's also part of it. And the unfortunate thing is AAA is at the end of the day very corporate in the sense that their way of marketing is very corporate. Whereas Indie and AA has the advantage of being a bit more human. Problem with Tarkov is the base game mechanics, if you can call them that. They're just broken, poorly optimized, terrible sound system, tons of cheaters make the game unenjoyable. I wouldn't say the base game is badly made. Obviously, it's got its issues. Don't get me wrong; it's not perfect by any means. And yeah, the cheater issue. I haven't run too many cheaters, but I've seen enough to know that I don't want to touch Tarkov again. It also doesn't help that they kind of tarnish their reputation by kind of trying to do so many bait and switches on their player base. It's like, oh, you guys invested in the highest tier thing that gives you access to everything. Let's just not give you access to everything that you actually paid for and try to fuck you over. And they tried to do that, I think, twice already. But the thing is, they dug their own hole. They have all these player bases that are not giving them any more money. So good luck maintaining any of their servers or anything like that. And that's probably why the queue times are so fucking long. Is because they're probably not investing more into servers. They don't want to do that. So, because if they do, they run out of money faster. Because most of their players probably have the largest. What's it called? What's the largest digital pack? What's it called? Hey, relax. Jeez. God. You can edit the stash now, but it doesn't solve any of its problems. It's a little nicer, but yeah, the problem still stands that the queue is way too long. But at least that's a nice improvement. Quality of life improvement. Took them fucking long enough. The fact that you had to stare at the fucking, we're looking for a match screen for like 20 minutes without being able to do anything was, I think, really annoying. That's the other one. Devs just dogs. 10 years milking early access for money. It depends. You know what I mean? It depends. It's a complicated subject. Because it depends. Like, I think there's different situations. Because you can even look at a game like Stardew Valley. The fucking dev is still adding updates to that game, but it's not an early access game. So I don't think it's necessarily an early access issue. You could look at No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky could be considered early access, but they're still updating the game. So there's a couple like... There's a lot of nuance to it. I don't think it's black or white. Some people are making theories that they let cheaters play for a little so they can ban them later and encourage them to buy new accounts so they can have their fun for a bit. I don't know. I'm not going to make those kind of assessments because I don't know. And I think Trying to accuse a company of doing that can be a very rocky road. I'm sure players of the game find that a very enticing theory. Maybe. I don't know. I guess it's on brand. You could say that's on brand. Where am I? Bullet. Let's go to the bullet. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Change the topic. What am I working right now? I am working on the enhanced hitboxes. So it'll be a setting that'll be turned on by default. Depending on where you hit an enemy with a secondary weapon, like the pistol that you pick up or whatever, it will deal different levels of damage. So if you hit them in the head, it'll deal double damage. If you hit them in the legs, it'll deal, I don't know, half damage. And then I guess hitting them in the chest would be regular amounts of damage. That's what we're currently working on. After years of development, he finally gave in. Who? Me? What do you mean? Making a game for dirty casuals? Well, I want to make sure like my next game is not a casual game. But the thing is, if you don't make a casual game, or if you don't make a semi-casual game, do I get fucked over? You know what I mean? Like, who buys the game? I think it's a good question to ask. But also at the same time, what is the game that I want to make? You know what I mean? Like, you're already a billionaire? What do you mean? I'm not a billionaire! What the hell? Who the hell is spreading these lies? That lit playlist. Alright. Let's see what past me thought of. Best viewers on my balls. I'm surprised Twitch has not cracked down on this shit. Like, I'm sure they're trying, but come on. You're owned by Amazon. You could do something, right? Like, come on. Come on. Do you consider making them fall if you hit them in legs, or is that too much? That would be too much, I think, Ghost. Bro, bot pulled gray face, remove the space. Yeah, making them fall would be too much. I think that would be something that I'd like to do for future games, I think. But for this game, it'd be too much. Definitely something I would love to do for future games. Okay, so then we need to get the hit result. Let's make a local variable in here. Bone map. So name with a map with a float. Head 2 times damage. Neck underscore 01 2 times damage. Let me double check that it is neck underscore 01. Yips. Then thigh underscore left. The thing is, I don't know if these are the actual bone names. Can I print string in here, even though it's a pure node? Will that still work? Let's see if that actually works. Oh wait, I'm not using a secondary weapon. Whoopsies. Pelvis. Calf. Thigh, calf. Thigh. These are not giving me accurate hits. It might be the sphere radius giving me like super incorrect shit. You know, whatever. Okay, so good. We can do a print string there, no problem. We have our map. So head would be 2 times damage, neck would be 2 times damage. Thigh underscore left. I think was it giving us thigh underscore left, or was it giving us a different name? Two Friars survivors win? Yeah, it's not a thing. That will not be a thing. So the thighs, we'll say it deals 0.75. Now, here's the thing. This might not actually change anything, right? By having such a specific float value, because enemies are all integer based. So we'll see. And then hitting the lower leg would deal half damage. And then let's see if feet are even considered. Foot. They are considered as a thing. Foot and ball, no fucking shot. Is there a chance that you deal 0 damage? There actually might be a possible chance where you might deal 0 damage. It's a feature. It's a feature. You know what I should be doing? I should be removing underscore left or underscore right from the text, and that way I don't have to do 2 times each map. But whatever. Yeah. Can you make groin shots? I was literally thinking about adding a groin shot, but that's whatever. Nut shot. Anybody play Combat Arms back in the day? Nut shot. Okay, so you got head, neck, thigh, and then anywhere else. I'm thinking we make the arm deal 1x damage. Just because if you hit the arm, it's possible that it might be a miss hit or something. Can we get super detailed X-rays like in Sniper Elite? Nah. Comet Arms has some good maps. You still remember that one that's just a bunch of like shipping containers and like a yard? I think they literally called it Yard. I don't remember. Would it be unethical to use tools to reverse engineer Unreal Engine games for learning purposes? I don't really think you're going to learn all that much from doing that, to be honest with you, Billy. I think you're better off just using some of the... There's a bunch of like learning projects that you can potentially learn from, that you can reverse engineer, that Unreal gives you. There's the shooter game demo, which is a lot of C++. You could probably learn a bunch of stuff there. I want to check out how some games do complex character animations. You're better off just fucking, I guess, using... What's that thing called? A gameplay animation sample? You could use that. I like that one with 2 ramps into the long building. 2 ramps into the long building. Was it the one where there's like 2 sections and then a middle hallway? And then like... God, I don't remember most of the... Unreal actually just released a full Gaz breakdown? Wait, Gaz? Oh, gameplay ability system? Today, you're not kidding, September 8th. Man, I wish they did more written content. Or can they release this this slideshow? Is this, can we access just the slideshow? Oh, they're all in different modules. Oh shit. I didn't even realize this was here. I need to learn gameplay ability system. I'm starting to realize I just need to push through it and just learn how to use the fucking thing. Because it's clearly the next step for me for multiplayer. Inevitably, I'm just going to end up making an ability system that is similar to this. At that point, I might as well just fucking learn gas. Yeah, I don't remember what the Combat Arms maps look like. Combat Arms maps. Oh, 2 towers. Oh, it's this one. I don't recognize. You know, it's so funny. Combat Arms looks so much like Garry's Mod, or like Half-Life, like a Valve-made game. It's kind of crazy. It looks like it could be a Valve-made game. I don't recognize this map. I recognize Snow Valley. I recognize the shit out of this one. That's like a super common one. Oh, Junk Flea. That's... I think this is... Is this a map I'm thinking about? The one with like... I think it is... It's been so long since I played this game, man. They made all of their money selling guns and ammo with limited lifespan. I know, I hated that system. I hated it so fucking much as a kid. Gaz is literally the reason I swapped to Unreal. Really? Gaz? Jeez. Gameplay ability system. Gaz's gameplay ability system. It's a very, very complex ability system that allows you to like basically make something. As long as you learn it properly, you can make a bunch of things that are multiplayer ready. that are very like effective. They use it in Fortnite. They used it in Paragon. They use it a bunch in a bunch of other games. Lots of stuff. I was trying to figure out how to do basically the same system in my own Unity game. The thing is, you can build your own system, and you might understand it more. But the problem is like, Gaz is battle tested. It's just about using it properly, which is the challenge. It's the challenge. Yeah, Nash, we were just talking about that. We were just talking about that. It has a bunch of network prediction stuff, control over client-side things versus server-based stuff. It's very, very well put together. It's just, there's a lot of moving parts, as would any system like that have. Been looking for an excuse to leave Unity and come to Unreal, and that was the kicker for me. Find. For me, I can't like. Unfortunately, I can't say I've ever had that experience. When I first started Unreal, or first started game dev, I tried Unity for like a week. I just couldn't get into it, and I couldn't get into C#. Blueprint was just my way of getting into it was the only way for my brain to grasp programming in any way, shape, or form. And I also like the fact that back then, this was back in like, here's the thing, this was back in like 2013. Unity didn't have Bolt, or it was in very early stages. It didn't have a material editor, didn't have all that stuff. I just did not like the idea of doing syntax coding and whatnot for all of those elements. So I think Unreal just kind of clicked better for me. It just clicked for me. Okay, so the damage will just be false. It'll just be the default value. Otherwise, it will multiply it by the bone map. And then that's it. And I think that means the pistol should now deal double damage. Cool. I can literally two-hit the dummies. Now, are people going to find that shitty to hit them twice in the head with a dinky pistol? I don't know. I don't care. That might mean that the assault rifles, because they deal a different base damage, they might one-hit the head. Yeah. So, there you go. There you go. There you go. Okay. I think we're looking good. We gotta do some extensive testing, make sure that we're not hitting any, missing any bullets. We don't have like very precise aiming when you're too up close to an enemy. It's one thing that is a bit unfortunate. Like if you're aiming here, it's not really 100% going to hit the head. I don't think they actually have a neck bone. Pretty sure they do. But I'm not hitting it. All right. That's pretty good. And then I believe if you turn off the setting, the secondary pistol should not be 2 hits to the head. It's 3? 4. Which makes sense because it's double damage. But that'll be different on... The thing is, the dummy has a lot of health. So it's very likely that it'll deal... This might actually not be a good addition. But whatever. Fuck it. Let's try an elite. Let's try a grunt. And let's try a merc. Because they have a good amount of... Did I hit only the head for all of those? I actually don't even know. Okay, 2 hits. Merc is 2 hits. Elite is 3 hits. Makes sense to me. Let's try the assault rifle real quick. They're all 1 hit, which I guess good. Maybe not on the elite enemy though. Maybe not on the elite enemy. I don't know. We'll see. Fire weapon is unchanged. Still functions the same way. Is the helmet part of the skeletal mesh? No, it's its own separate thing. Because the thing is with the primary weapon, if you're too far away, it shoots off the helmet. But if you're close enough, it's a 1-hit kill with the primary weapon. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe the secondary weapon would make him lose his helmet first. If you hit him in the head. I don't know. Whatever. It's in now. What was the text for the setting? Because I'll just copy paste it for the... There we go. There's the red task out of the way. What are some other red tasks? Revolver ultimate, we can fix that one. Fix enemy navigation, they run into cars, right? That's for one of the levels. And a bunch of other additions, and then that's about it. We do need the button helper thingy on the photo mode. But we also need to improve the controls for that. But that's cool, we got enhanced hitboxes in. Not sure if it's gonna be a good change. But, I guess it's kind of a good thing, because what you can do now is you can maybe potentially spam someone in the leg. And okay, well, weird. And instead get an execution. Let's see if that actually makes an impact. kind of. But not really. Wait, let's see the assault rifle real quick. Wait, was that a one-hit kill in the chest with an AR? No, it was 2. I feel like the elite enemy should have a like a lower multiplier on Bones hit because he has armor. But I don't want him to be a bullet sponge either. Might need some tweaking. Might need a bit of tweaking. I'm thinking. Yeah, might need a little bit of tweaking. I could see some tweaking being done to make it feel more satisfying. But thing is, hitting the chest is basically how the game currently works. So if I hit him in the chest and it's 2 hits, then... or 3 hits, that's just how the game is. Currently. Glass still broken. I gotta test it. Before I re-enable the glass destruction, I gotta really test it out. We're getting some errors here because we can't get the anima instance of this, apparently. I guess maybe when he dies. Let's just fix that just so I don't cause a crash. All right. Not bad. Feeling pretty good. We still got 5 more tasks to go to really call this version ready, and then I want to do a lot of playtesting to make sure that everything's okay. Yes, 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 yes. Yes. On that note, my voice is fucked because I like hung out with friends yesterday, talking all day. My throat is very roughed up right now. Come Z summer 2025, right guys? I don't know what my next game is going to be. We will find out in October. If anything, maybe in October we experiment and play around with a bunch of different ideas. I know for sure the one thing I want to do is the next game, the big goal is I want to learn a bunch of C++. That's all I know. That's it. That's all I know for the next game. I just want to use that as an opportunity to mix in a lot more C++ into my workflow. You say that like you stop scope creeping for real? No, I'm still gonna scope creep a lot. It's just how quickly do I catch myself? And Gaz, ideally, but I don't know if I want to put that on myself. Having to learn Gaz and C++ itself. We'll see. April 2026. So it very well could be that we just work on God Tower, which is on this thing called Hell Above, but in reality, it's God Tower. God Tower. which would be kind of like Dark Messiah, Mind Magic, Shady Knight, a little bit like Devil Daggers, going through levels and then maybe getting like perks and unlocks. Roguelite, very roguelite. You just have a primary weapon and a secondary weapon and that's it. I don't know. We'll see what we end up doing. I want to stick with a very strict scope if I can. I think that would be the ideal. But it's also so difficult to do that while also thinking about replayability and all that. It's such a headache. It's such a headache trying to think about all that. Yeah. Progression, because the gamers love it. Don't get me wrong, I like it too. It's just, ugh. I don't know what we're going to work on next. I don't think it'll be the zombie game yet, because I want that to be really done well. And that might require a bunch of C++ experience. I don't know if I'm going to get into Ronin. So that might also, I just don't want to fuck that one up either. So we'll see. There's a large likelihood that the next game we work on probably won't even sell that well. It's large likelihood that it probably won't even sell that well. You know what I mean? It might even be very niche in some respect. Progressing towards 10 years of development cycles because gamers love progression. Gonna be here a while. Gonna be here a while. Anyways, thanks for dropping by, everybody. I'm probably gonna head out here. Yeah, October is ideally when I'd like to work on the next game. And it might be like a case of we do 50-50. I start working on the next game, maybe planning for it. We do some fun little early prototyping streams or something. I don't fucking know. And then I work the other 50% still on some Suit for Hire update stuff. Try to get some mod support in, all that kind of stuff, I guess. Still got some features that I wasn't able to get into for the V1.1. Enhanced enemies. Couple things here. Yeah, keep finding to toggle the flashlight. We might be able to put that in as a patch. It's not like we have to do V1.1 and then V1.2. Like we can do some in-between patches to get other things in. Yep. Yeah. Hope you guys have a great day and hope you enjoyed the stream. I got to check out, where's that Gaz course? There it is. I'm going to keep that open. I'm going to take a look into that. That could be handy. And let me also open up that Humble Bundle pack that I saw. Yes. 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 $7,400 value. Surely one of these assets is not increasing all those fucking numbers, right? Yes. Anyways, see you guys tomorrow. Am I doing anything tomorrow? Don't think so. No. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for dropping by. Have a great day. Peace out. Goodbye.